from Jerusalem up to an area called Magdala, where we believe Mary Magdalene was born. I'm going to meet someone called Rania, and she's going to help us understand the huge significance of this area. Come with me. This should be an amazing day. One of the places I've wanted to visit for, gosh, so many years is Magdala, the place where we believe that Mary Magdalene was born and where she grew up. And I think it's just going to be a beautiful place to be there. And I read an article that said they have excavated a synagogue that they believe would go right back to the time of Jesus. So the thought that we could stand on the very stones where perhaps Christ himself stood is just, it's so exciting. And not only that, I don't know if it's a painting or a mural. I stopped looking before I saw what it was because a friend had said to me, who had been to Israel before, she said, don't prepare yourself. She said, you just walk into that room and you feel the presence of Christ. So that's what I'm really excited about today. Rania, what an honor to meet you.
You too, Sheila.
And a blessing.
What a blessing.
Thank you
for
so
coming.
much for meeting me here in Magdala. Let's walk a little.
Oh, thank you for coming. It's an honor.
I was born in Scotland, so if you were to ask me, what do you like about Scotland, I could tell you 10 things. Having been born in this land, what do you love about Israel?
There is an endless answer to this, but Nazareth is my home. So even thinking about it, I'm stepping on the place where my Jesus has stepped on every day, remembering what he has spoken, because these words are still alive in the atmosphere, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Every day is for us an incredible privilege, I believe, to be in this land, because this is where his steps will step again as he returns for his bride.
Were you brought up in a Christian family?
So we are from a Greek Orthodox background, so I was born into the kingdom when I was 16 years old. I met Jesus in Nazareth
Wow.
because I was longing for him as a young lady.
Amazing. This is obviously an excavation, a discovery. What is this?
Which actually we're seeing here ruins of a town. And this town is called Magdala. It's the town of Mary the Magdalene. The word in Hebrew means Migdal. Migdal means tower. And in fact, in the ancient history, they think, or they called it, the Tower of Fish because of its industry.
Oh, because we're right by the Sea of Galilee.
We're right by the Sea of Galilee. It's the northern, part of the Tiberias town.
Yes.
And here, this beside the port, there was a port there, it was an industry exporting salted fish.
I had no idea what to expect. But when I walked in here today, I felt the presence of the Lord.
Hallelujah.
I felt the presence of the Holy Spirit. I've gone sightseeing in countries all over the world.
Yes.
This is different.
You know, it's not just the history. His presence is still here, is hovering over this area, over this place, and everyone who comes into the land can experience the same thing.
We're going to be inviting some of our friends to come with us on another trip later this year because you can't describe in words what it's like. You have to actually experience. Over here, I think we're going to be able to go and actually look at what would have been a synagogue.
Yes.
You know what I was surprised by? It's actually quite small.
So small, isn't it?
And is that typical?
A very small number of people used to come every Saturday there to pray. They had intimacy.
Yeah.
Yes, they had personal relationship.
Yeah.
They saw each other faces. They recognized each other because they met every Saturday there. This is the beauty of what we have in the Middle East, let me call it this way.
One of the things that we hear a lot about on the news is the tension that exists within Israel. Whether it's between Jew and Arab or, different factions within the land. What do you see Jesus doing in that kind of world particularly to bring women together?
The Lord has allowed me, by His grace, to really dream with Him about the unity of the family.
I love that.
There will be no awakening unless the family is regathered together. So women carry a very powerful role in regathering the family together. as an Arab, you know, speaking, loving my Jewish family, welcoming them in my table, and them welcoming me on the table for them. That is a key for us to see Israel restored and an awakening coming to this land.
We're beginning to see in America pockets of revival. And interestingly enough, it's beginning with young people.
Amen.
That to hear that that is happening here is powerful. I think it's incredible. These ruins of the synagogue have lasted, I mean, over 2,000 years.
More than 2,000 years for sure, at least we're talking.
Lots of people come. It's a very popular place to come, but we have been given permission to actually walk through this door and sit inside.
What a privilege.
What a privilege. You know, being here in Magdala, obviously, I'm thinking of Mary Magdalene.
Yes.
I've always thought it was so amazing that Christ, when he rose from the dead, had been conquered forever and ever.
Not only that, she would be the first to be sent out carrying the great news about the resurrected Messiah. She was the first apostle.
First missionary into the world, too, which is just, it's absolutely amazing. Okay, so if you can, take us back over 2,000 years ago. And this is not a ruin. This is a synagogue. During the week, the village, Magdala, is busy. What happens on Sabbath?
Saturdays and during the week. And the Torah and the words of the Lord were declared here from this place, out to the whole village, of course, here in the Magdala area. So this is an incredible place to be able to witness and see that all what the Lord spoke about biblically, there is proofs also archaeologically and historically to what's taking place.
This stone over there, is that where the scriptures would be opened?
It looks like it was excavated before the destruction of the temple in 70 BC.
I'm thinking of it's Sabbath, like one before, and suddenly Jesus begins to read from Isaiah, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, for he has anointed me." Can you imagine what that moment would have been like for those who were there that day?
That is incredible because, you know, coming from Nazareth also.
Yeah.
And I love the synagogue church. This is actually a place of encounter for me. And I call it the womb of Nazareth. It's the place of birthing. This is the place where the commission was released.
It gives me chills. The other story that we're going to touch on later is, we read about it in Mark's Gospel, Mark chapter 5, the woman with the issue of blood. And I believe we're going to go see something that I've never seen before. Let me ask you, when you first saw it, how did that impact you?
This impacted me very strongly because it's like really the same story comes alive back again. You know, and the Lord himself is the same resurrected Messiah who met Mary the Magdalene. He's now, yesterday, today, and forever. The same God who did this miracle is able and willing to do the same miracle. There is hope for every woman. In this specific miracle, when I look at it, I say this is a great message of hope.
Honestly, I get the sense that we're living in a new day, that the things that we have taken for granted, the miracles that Jesus did, the living in his presence, I feel like the Lord is moving, and I feel that here, and I feel that at home. So why don't you and I go take that little journey, and let's go see that prophetic painting for ourselves.
Oh, I can't wait, Sheila. Let's do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this short break.
The All-Star Game, one of the action highlights of Major League Baseball. This year's All-Star action takes place in Milwaukee. To commemorate the 1975 All-Star Game, Commissioner Bowie Kuhn has selected the Balfour Company to present this Golden Saddle ring to each of the All-Star players and coaches. All-Star action and tradition. Get with Major League Baseball.
A message from Major League Baseball.